see my presentation right now?
Yes, we can.
Okay, perfect. Hi, everyone. My name is Zahra Derakhshandeh, and I'm an assistant professor from California State University, East Bay campus. And this is a joint work with Babak Esmaeili from Arizona State University. So we would like to talk about designing to promote interaction in online learning systems. So, online learning is convenient for many learners. It gives them the possibility of learning without being restricted by attending a particular classroom at a specific time. Nowadays, many universities, institutes, and companies offer online courses, training, certificates, or even degrees. So there is a high demand regarding online learning systems these days. So it's good, we don't have that time restriction, we don't have that location restriction. We can learn online from our offices, from our homes, and it's really convenient. But there are some drawbacks with this online learning kind of, systems. As an instructor and as a student, we don't have that type of face-to-face interactions that we normally have in our classroom based, environments. So this lack of face-to-face interaction has a bunch of consequences for the learners specifically. They feel isolated or disconnected from the community consisting of, the classmates and the instructor of the course. And that can cause some adverse emotions like anxiety, sadness, and depression. A lot of the times, students need instructors' influence or feedback. They need something to be explained by the instructor, and they also need some confirmation coming from the instructor, and that's actually missing in our online learning systems. If that happens a lot within this journey, then the student may feel discouraged or may get lost if we leave them alone. So we might need to think more about kind of providing some ways of face-to-face interaction for the students while they are using online learning systems. If we talk about interaction specifically in online learning systems, there are a lot of well-known, studies and researches on this topic, but maybe the main category of interaction is coming from, what Moore specified in 1989. We have three types of interaction: learner to learner, which we call it peer interaction as well, learner to instructor interaction, and learner to content. Talking about the human interaction part, we have two, categories: learner interaction with the learner and with the instructor. And focusing on those two, we have two ways of communicating: asynchronous communication and synchronous communication. In the online learning systems, once we have asynchronous communication, we mostly go by message passing. So, for example, we have email communication. The student with some question is gonna send the question to the instructor, and then later on, once the instructor checks his email or her email, he's gonna answer to that question. So it's better than nothing. I kind of get some feedback from my instructor, and hopefully that's gonna resolve the issue and I can move on. However, this may require some back and forth message passing. So it's not gonna be on time, right? So if the student is not able to talk to the point, then the instructor has to go through a couple of more questions to understand what's exactly going on. And, the perception process may take longer time than, giving and receiving feedback in the classroom environments. There are some other ways as well, like forums and discussion boards. So the student or the instructor can specify a topic in the discussion board, and then later on when somebody comes, can continue on that discussion, and it just moves like that. So this discussion board maybe most of the time will be handled by students, right? So maybe it's not always supervised by the instructor, and therefore it may cause some student overload. They may get distracted from the main topic as they are talking and chatting, and therefore not the best, but better than nothing. The questions and answers type of message passing are some other examples of this asynchronous communication. So the advantage is that interaction can happen, right? And it is at the learner's comfort time. So the time that I'm available, I can get online, I can send a message. It could be by email or the discussion board. But the issue is that I still feel that isolation, and sometimes this miscommunication can happen. It's not face-to-face. I cannot get feedback from the instructor. Specifically, I cannot see him and talk to him. So some other techniques are provided in our online learning systems, and they are trying to do this communication in real time and synchronous. So it's by doing instance messaging among the peers and the instructor, and you can think of providing some live chat for the students to talk to the instructor specifically. So it's good, I can send a message to my instructor, and I certainly can receive the response almost on time. But how long I can expect my instructor to be online? When should I get online and to see my instructor online? So I have to wait maybe until the instructor gets online, and then we start chatting. So some other approaches trying to implement online learning system more interactive, try to provide some ways of 24/7 kind of being online and accessibility. So first of all, it's not going to happen using human. We cannot have the instructor being online 24/7 or somebody who is helping the instructor. So maybe it's costly and sometimes impossible, unless if we try to implement that or simulate that using robots. So chatbots are some solution trying to help in this situation. Student ask the question from the bot, and if the bot is able to address that question, the student get that response. However, the isolation is still there. The student is not going to talk to the instructor, is not going to have that face-to-face action and reaction happening. And if there is a point that the student needs instructor's feedback, confirmation, just to make sure, I'm on the right track, let me move on, or, oh, I need to fix this and then move on, it's not gonna happen there. So we still have that feeling of isolation there. We might not get the answer to everything we want, like, for example, extension of the due date of the project, or some other things that are not possible for the bot to answer. And at the same time, I have to be online at some specific point of the time if it is not a chatbot. So I'm gonna lose my own pace and flexibilities, specifically time flexibilities. So what we can do here, how we can learn at our comfort time as much as possible, or how we can teach at our comfort time as much as possible, and still being able to interact face-to-face with our student, or if I'm a student with my instructor. So we try to answer this question using Tele-Instruction. Tele-Instruction is a customized design which can be supplement to online learning systems, the ones that are already even available. And we try to address these concerns there using Tele-Instruction. Tele-Instruction has a couple of core modules. So let's talk about the appointment module. So I'm an instructor, and for my next week, I just consider the time slots that I'm available. That time slot could be as short as a 5 or 10 minute slot, or it could be longer depending on my availability. I'm just gonna set those time slots in my calendar in the system, which is shared with the students of the class as well. So I'm gonna specify those time slots and those days. And if there is a student in my class who hasn't got the answer he's looking for, and he's looking to talk to me, even if it is like a short conversation, he's gonna access to that calendar, and he's gonna book an appointment at his convenient time, the best time that works for him as well. And then the system can help us managing this kind of booking, and the system can send us reminder for the meeting and all those things. And then at the time of the meeting, from any place that I am, I'm gonna get connected to my that meeting room, and I'm gonna talk to my instructor using video conferencing. So I'm gonna ask my question, the instructor is gonna answer my question, and it's like simulating the face-to-face interaction happening in our classrooms. If it is needed, the instructor is able to share some files for me for following up, for example, extra material or slides, similar to what we see in the classroom, right? So we provide some more documents or some more references for the students if it is needed, like covering background material or so on. Another core module in the learning management system is, in the Tele-Instruction is learning management system. So this module is gonna help us for content management and meeting management. Students are gonna ask the questions through the system. If the system using the learning management system, module is able to address those questions using the available knowledge in the system, then it's gonna answer those. And if that's not the case, the learning management system is gonna lead the student to book an appointment with the instructor using the calendar and appointments that I explained. And then you might ask, it may take a lot of time from instructor if he's gonna address all the questions, but the instructor might not be available that long, right? So the instructor time slot could be as short as a 5-minute time slot. Sometimes it's just the influence of instructor that is gonna help a lot for students to get far from that feeling of isolated or disconnected. But if it is a large online class and we have a lot of requests from students, maybe close to the exams or maybe in the beginning of the semester, then that makes sense that the instructor specifies some trusted technical agents to help for those meetings. So those agents could be like teaching assistants of the course. They could be some former students who are doing great in the class. Even a student who has submitted his assignment and he just did great and he is a trusted one, could be introduced to the system as a trusted agent. And then the student can follow up and have those face-to-face meetings with those agents, and the supervisory of the advisor would be on top of them. A lot of the time we actually can merge the meetings, right? So if I see, I have two students with the kind of same question, and if it is convenient for both of them, we can merge the meetings, and that's gonna be a good point of starting peer interactions. The peer interaction under the supervisory of the instructor in that meeting would be really helpful. Later on, the students can continue those groups discussions for problem solving as well, and that's going to help them to not get distracted, and it's going to increase their alertness for the online learning system as well. Tele-instruction can help a lot for course design and instruction adjustment as well. Just imagine that we are in the classroom, we get feedback from our students. If I see I'm getting a lot of questions regarding a concept, I understand that that concept needs to be explain in some other ways. I may need to provide some extra slides. I may need to provide a session, and I kind of explain some, good hints regarding that topic to everyone. So it's going to be the same. If I, as an instructor, if I see a lot of questions on a topic, I understand that I need to be careful regarding how I instruct that topic, and I can design my course correspondingly. On the other hand, we actually can help students learn the concept in a better way as well. So once I'm in a meeting with a student and I understand there is something wrong regarding the background material and prerequisite, and I'm gonna ask a student for a training, then I can have the system kind of tracking his progress. Maybe a short quiz after that training, after checking those videos or slides would be a good way of evaluating the student and making sure that the student is actually following up with the guidelines that I have provided in that one-to-one or face-to-face meeting. So that's gonna help for tracking the progress of student, and it's gonna be helpful for me as an instructor because I get feedback from my students, which is better than just putting the material online and asking a student to read them and then get ready for the exams. So what about the future? We are actually currently implementing our tool, and we would like it to be incorporated to the tele-instructions, to incorporate tele-instructions modules into our online learning systems. And what we would like to, work on is to implement automatic question classification features of the learning management system using available material, and also deciding well on leading the student to the calendar once there is no answer to the questions that they have available in the system. So it's good to record the meeting that the student has with the instructor and just keep it in the system for next time similar questions coming. We might actually even use some voice to speech to text, speech to text, techniques to store the content of the meetings as well, and then later on use them to address some of the questions. So it would be nice to utilize machine learning techniques to improve the system's performance for content comprehension. And I guess those are the main paths that we are gonna follow up to make tele-instruction a good, design to supplement to our online learning systems to improve interaction. We will be happy to answer your questions, and thank you for your, attention. And let me see if my colleague was answering probably the questions. Okay, do I have?
We have 3 questions in there right now. Would you like me to read the questions?
I'm just checking the first one, the PDF for this
Okay.
presentation.
I think that one's solved.
Okay, that one is solved. Which one is not solved then?
There's a question here about what software do you recommend for recording these sessions?
For recording our, like the meetings that we have, you mean?
Yes, that's what Lori would like to know.
I see. So currently what we are using is a software, I mean, we are implementing this Tele-Instruction. We are in the middle of that, but it's something similar to the Zoom meeting that we have. And the recording is currently like just the recording that we have in the Zoom. So it's gonna record the video together with the voice. As I said, we would like to have that speech to text services as well, so that we store the text and specifically the important parts of the text and to be used for you know, later on if it is needed.
But if you ask what software is responsible to, I mean, record the videos and those stuff, we are using like Jitsi. It's an open source software for teleconferencing and those stuff. So we did some changes on the source of that software, and we integrated that software inside our software. So we kind of use it as
your news actually.
Oh, sorry.
So, okay, so he's answering what he was mute. So let me mute myself and he's answering to that question. Okay, go ahead.
So sorry about that. I mean, for recording the videos, we are using Jitsi. It's an open source software. So we kind of changed that software and like implemented on a container base. And we are kind of using some APIs and like service communication between that software and our software to record and, I mean, to record the videos, voices, and everything.
So that software is pretty similar to the Zoom that you're just using right now. So can you write?
They wanted to know if you guys can write the information. So can you put that information in the chat for them?
Can you type the answer here for the name of the software? Yeah, that's what he's doing right now.
So if anybody has any other questions, make sure that you put them in the Q&A. We still have some time left in the session.
So it depends on the availability of the instructor. I just imagine that, you know, I have my next week and it sounds like I have a couple of slots that I can just open for my students. I'm gonna specify them in my calendar. If I see more requests comparing to what I'm providing, if I have enough time slots available, I can increase them. If that's not the case, I can use my TAs or the other students that I have previously and I saw them successfully. So it really depends on you and your availability as an instructor. And so you about the software he's explaining. Oh, no problem.
So I also see a question in chat for you guys. Alice asked, what is the student response to posting appointments?
Where is that? I didn't get your question.
In the chat.
Let me open it up.
She had asked it in the chat. I just happened to see it in there. She wanted to know, what is the student response to posting appointments?
Okay, so the student is going to ask the system about his question. Okay, so if it is something that is already in the system, you know, the knowledge available in the system is going to respond. If not, the student is going to be led to book an appointment. So he can access that shared calendar, and then among those available time slots, he's going to pick the one that is going to be the best for him. Okay, and then the system is gonna, you know, he's gonna book that appointment, and then later on they can be available for that meeting, like the one that we have right now, and then they can talk face to face.
So we have some more questions in the Q&A. So Wendy asked, do all tools translate well into virtual classrooms?
Do you all, can you read that again?
Do all tools translate well into virtual classrooms?
We are working on it. So we are just developing this tool. And a lot of the parts that I just see as a question are the ones that we are implementing. So it's not like that we always use a ready built-in, you know, app or software and just reuse it. So we are integrating a couple of things like booking the appointments, that Jitsi that my colleague mentioned, and those things. And once we have this tool, yeah, it can be just used in any online learning system. It can be just like a dashboard that the student and the instructor can use. I don't know, maybe it can be used on Blackboard if you're using Blackboard and all those things. Yeah. It's not going to be something that has some contradiction with the online learning systems that we are currently using.
Okay, and then Wendy also asked, how often have technical issues been a concern for all students to participate and complete tasks?
Often have technical issues been a concern for all students to participate and complete tasks? Which technical issues? And which tasks to be completed?
Okay, we'll give Wendy time to answer that. Mary Ann asked, do you have issues with students booking appointment times and not showing up?
We haven't kind of made it live yet to check and see those things, but I can guess there might be some cases like that, right? As an instructor, I'm just gonna stay online and do my job and see if the student comes, maybe for 5 minutes or so. You know, anything can happen, like an emergency situation and the student doesn't show up. But if it is about the system, I think if we provide good reminders, like maybe like an hour before the meeting and maybe 10 minutes before the meeting, it's going to prevent students from just forgetting about the appointment if that's the situation. But it can happen for any of us that we supposed to go to a meeting, and because of some, you know, something happening, we cannot go. But we haven't tested the system yet to make sure, you know, how many of the students are not going to participate in the meeting. We might have some kind of rating as well. So if we see a student just booking an appointment and he's not going to show up a couple of the times, using that rating, we may kind of ask the student to be careful about the appointment that he's booking. I don't think that's going to happen a lot. Mostly we see students just eager to talk to the instructor. So this has happened to me even during this situation that we went suddenly online because of this coronavirus. and I see the students are just eager to just talk to me face to face, you know, by video for 5 minutes to get that confirmation feeling that they used to get in the classrooms. I don't think they're gonna have issue regarding a lot of booked appointment that are not gonna show up. And have you documented your Tele-Instruction activity anywhere or published any research relating to it? We are working on it. We haven't published that. We have submitted that somewhere to be published, and we haven't, I mean, it's just a very new topic for us. But it is available online. We have made that an archive version. If you want to check, it's just a short draft of the current research there that you can search under our names. I'm interested in your calendar software you have developed. Are you selling or sharing? We will be happy to be in contact with you. I don't know if you have access to our email address, but Bob, can you provide your email? Babak is gonna provide his email address to you. And then we can talk about this calendar software with you for sure. I often have feedback that students have access issues related to internet or inability to use the tools. I believe some are only using phones. I see. I think it's a good idea to make sure that the system is gonna work on the phones as well. The current version that we have, we are just you know, under the development part phase, and we try to check it on phones. Currently, it's working on phones, but I understand sometimes internet issues is gonna happen. That's something that's gonna happen for online courses, you know, and learning anyway. And the access issue, I don't know what you mean by access issue. So if I'm using, for example, Blackboard, I don't get a lot of access issues once I'm using Blackboard, and let's assume it's just a tool on Blackboard. I'm just you know, telling you a name, right, or some other tools. Hopefully we don't have that access issues. I mean, that shouldn't happen a lot. And I guess that was the last question that I see just currently. Okay, he is Bob is waiting for an email address. Sorry, my kid is just here. If it is a little noisy, it's just these days.
I think we're all getting used to the new stay-at-home, so there are going to be animals, children, all kinds of different things. So,
yeah.
Any other questions? And are you guys going to put your email for them in the chat, or?
Do you want to put your email in the chat? Yeah, he's going to put it there as well. He contacted one of the participants directly, and I'm going to put that as well.
Yeah, it looks like Sarah is providing you with her email address, so you might want to copy it.
So Babak has provided his email address, and here is mine. And did you copy that email address, Babak? Yeah.
So if there aren't any other questions, I want to thank our presenters today. I know that we were scheduled to all be together face to face, but we've found a new way to do conferences virtually. So I want to thank everybody for attending today. We're going to be going to lunch next. And so if you want to meet with your colleagues, you can join in the Zoom meeting room for lunch. If not, we will be back at 1:20 p.m. Pacific time.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your attention. Have a good day.
So thank you guys very much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a good one. Bye.